Good morning. My name is Laura Grimm, and I will be your worship associate this morning. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Wayne County. We are a diverse congregation that welcomes you regardless of your age, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, economic status, or physical ability. We come together to seek deeper meaning and understanding from each other and the world around us. Your presence here is a gift that brings us closer to that understanding. We are an active community that lives its values beyond the hours of Sunday service. And I would like to call your attention to the following. Guest at your table is happening at the UUFWC. Let's join our religious exploration wing of things and raise money for the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee's project to fight injustices around the world. Donations of $150 or more are eligible to be matched by the UU congregation at Shelter Rock in Manhasset, New York. I think that's awesome that they're supporting us that way. Please see Sue Gross in the lobby after the service for more information. There's Sue. This is a reminder for anyone new to our congregation that there will be a UU inquiry session shortly after today's service in the minister's office. We will learn more about each other, Unitarian Universalism, and the functioning of our fellowship. What are y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Come join us for a Thanksgiving feast at the fellowship on Thanksgiving Day. Prepare your favorite holiday recipe and share it with others. For more details, please see the sign-up sheet in the lobby or check with Nancy Hurt. Where's Nancy? She's in the lobby. There she is. She's waving at us. Or Karen Skubik for more information. Let us know by November 15th, that's this coming week, if you can join in the fun. If you'd like to learn more about our activities here at the fellowship, please feel free to ask Karen Skubik, our membership coordinator.
Thank you, Laura, and good morning to everyone here and everyone online. It's good to have you all here. We might not have any visitors here. We might have some online, so we welcome you to join us sometime. And if there are any visitors or anyone who's never introduced themselves, you're welcome to let us know who you are. Is there anyone here? I don't think so. I think we've seen you all many times before. It's good to have you all here, especially coming after a really busy weekend for some of you with our madrigal. So nice to have you all here.
Good morning. That is about what I expected, level-wise, for a response. Just want to let you know, if you want, we got a couple seats over here. So, how many of you know about madrigal? Okay. For the few of you who did not raise your hands, yesterday and the day before, Friday and Saturday, was our great big madrigal feast. That's why we have these wonderful tapestries and banners hanging up. That's why the tables are set up this way. It was this wonderful, huge community event that could not have been done without wonderful volunteers. Can I get anyone who volunteered for madrigal in any way, shape, or form to raise their hand? Can we get a round of applause for all of y'all? Because this is a great example of what community does. Almost every one of you was involved in some way, shape, or form, and those of you who weren't can feel that generous spirit. And so I want to thank all of you for making this community what it is. Today's service is a little different. We are doing a little bit Thanksgiving style. I'm so glad Madrigal had the table set up this way so we can have a much more relaxing service. I do want to let you know, because we are dealing with food, we are dealing with food allergies. So if you are gluten-free, there are biscuits in the center tables that say gluten-free, and they have dairy in them. They have margarine. So if you are gluten-free and vegan, the Stormer Birches brought this for us to share. Yes, thank you. And all of the other bread on the tables, I just want to let you know, is vegan because it's just 4 ingredients, because bread should be just 4 ingredients, in my opinion, right? Flour, yeast, water, salt. Right? And love, most of the time. And I also want, and we'll talk about this, all of the stuff here that's on the table, most of it is brought in from other folks. So when we have our opportunity to eat, I encourage you to experiment and see what love has been shared with the congregation. Thank you so much. This is going to be a very relaxed, low-key service today, because a lot of us are still recovering. And it's cold this morning, and I think a lot of us just need some time to warm into it. So thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful morning. I ask you now to please be in the spirit of community, to open your hearts, put your cell phones into worship mode, and join us now as we worship together.
Our chalice lighting this morning is In Wholeness by Sean Parker Dennison. There is no competition between this light and the darkness which holds it. Both the light and the darkness are holy. We light our chalice not to defeat the darkness, but because for a time we need the gifts of flame, warmth and light to guide us and help us in our endeavors. And when the time comes, we will embrace again the gentle dark which allows us to rest. And so we kindle this light with awareness and gratitude for the light and the dark and all that lies in between. Each with its gifts, each with its beauty, and each part of a sacred and necessary whole. Now I invite you to rise in body and spirit as we sing our opening hymn, For the Beauty of the Earth. Number 21, it is in the gray hymnal.
I think that one flag might need to come down.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
How about this one? Is this one going to work? Okay. And, how about a chair today? My name is Jenny. I am the Director of Religious Education in this congregation. And this is our time that we get to share an activity, a story, a song, something. So, today is a special day. Who wants to tell me what it is? What's special? Day after Madrigal. That's a national holiday. Declared by, actually, it's a local holiday. The mayor of Worcester has declared that. Gentlemen, do any of you know what today is and special day at church? It's not Thanksgiving. It's coming, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's coming. What do you see on all the tables? Bread. Bread, everywhere bread. So, what'd you say? Breakfast day. It is breakfast day. No, it's bread communion day. So, do you remember water communion? No. Yes? Okay. Do you remember, who said no? Sebastian, did you say no? You were here. Okay, and do you remember flower communion? Yes. So flower communion, everybody brings in flowers. And then everybody takes home a different flower than the one they brought in. And that is a part of our UU calendar. And then water communion, we bring in our water and pour it all in a bowl, and I watered the plants with the water that we shared. Some people took some home. This is bread communion. Lots of people brought in bread. No, don't take that, please. Lots of people, do you want more color? Lots of people brought in bread, and it's about community, right? Sharing that together. So I have a loaf of bread here. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we'll figure it out. Does anybody see this loaf of bread up here? Can you see it? Step on up here, see if you can see it. I'm afraid I don't want to drop it.
Yeah, I could see it.
Can you see what about it? Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I didn't make that. Walter made that. Hey, Walter.
Congratulations, Walter.
So, anyways, we're going to look at this bread and think about it from the point of view that it is kind of a little bit about community, okay? So it takes a community to make a loaf of bread, right? Did you know that?
No.
Because I told you Walter made that bread, but he didn't do it alone.
You didn't?
Nope. Nope. Do you think he asked his son to help him?
Yes.
Nope.
No.
He's shaking his head. He said no. Do you think he walked in the kitchen and said, Wendy, I need help, and asked his wife to help him?
No.
Nope.
No.
She might have bought the stuff at the store for him, maybe. I don't know. They both do the shopping, so it's hard to know. Yeah, so okay. Sure. So, what else is community for this bread? What else came from the community for bread? Go ahead.
The water just like blended stuff.
The water? Yeah. You need to have clean water to make bread, right? You don't go out to a puddle and get the dirty water. You need clean water that comes out of your faucet, right?
What?
Uh-huh. So you need clean water. And how do you think the water gets clean?
From the water plants.
From the water plant.
Well, not the water.
No, the water factory, yes. I knew what you meant, yeah. Right, where they clean the water. And somebody might work there, right? Lots of people work there, so that's part of the community. What else is a community in our bread? The people who helped make it, like who? Who helped? The farmer grew the wheat. That's right. Yep, farmer grew the wheat. Then what? Then what's the farmer do with the wheat after that?
They wash it and then some people come and get it and then they go do something stuff.
That's right. I will repeat that because I have the microphone. So I appreciate that, though. That was right. You said that some people wash it. Some people come and get it. They wash it and they get it ready, and it goes to a store, right? Oh, they got to grind it up first, right? Somebody's got to grind it up. Are you counting how many people are involved so far with just the water and the flour? Or the store, who works at the store, or who drove the truck, right?
My dad drives 2 trucks.
Your dad drives 2 trucks, see, so does he deliver bread?
No,
Okay,
but he does. Probably just drives the truck.
for fun. Could be. So let's see, what else? What else goes into this bread of community? Let's keep thinking, let's do something here. We have some things we talk about in Unitarian Universalism, one of which is the interconnected web of life. Remember that one? You heard that before?
Yeah.
Laura has heard that before. The interconnected web, and that we honor the interconnected web of life. What does that mean to honor it? We respect it. You are so right about that. Okay. So here's our bread. I got my clean gloves on. Let's pull it apart. He's crying. Where are you going? He's going to get, I want to pull it. I'm breaking the bread.
Okay, break it.
We're breaking bread together. Would you, there's,
I could break a whole.
don't eat this yet, I want you to look at it. Is anybody allergic to any food?
No. No.
Anybody? No, no. Okay. Hold on, there you go. Don't eat it yet.
Not yet.
Here you go.
But I smell good.
We'll
There you
find
go.
out.
All right, so take a look at it. Can you take a look at it? Does that look like, what's it look like? You describe it, somebody.
It just looks like gingerbread man.
Looks like a gingerbread man.
It looks like expanded dough.
Expanded dough.
It looks like bread.
Bread. It's got little holes in it, right?
Yep.
And they're all kind of connected together. When you has anybody made bread before? Termite. A termite house.
Like a crack.
Like a what?
It looks like a cracked gingerbread.
It's got cracked gingerbread man is made from dough too. When you make dough like this, you know how you squish it and you squish it and you squish it before you bake it, right? And that makes it's really stringy like a web. So to get a loaf of bread, we need lots of people. We need things that come from the earth, like flour and water. Where does salt come from?
From breakfast.
From breakfast. It is right on the table. Yes. Does anybody know where salt comes from before we bring it to our table?
You do this and you just eat your breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, you get it out of the package. That's right. That is absolutely true. Salt comes from the ground. Sometimes it comes from water, and they get rid of the water and keep the salt. And it comes from the ground. It's a rock, kind of. No geologists are going to tell me it's not a rock. Okay, so what else? Flour, water, what are we up to?
Flour, water, salt.
Yeast. Yeast also is, that's what makes it smell so good. Mm-hmm.
That just smells like gingerbread.
I know gingerbread. You're going to need to get some gingerbread after church, I think, somewhere. Or you will not, aha, yeah, I'm telling them. So what was the last thing that belongs in our bread? The fifth ingredient?
Salt.
No. Mr. Stormer, what's our fifth ingredient?
Duh.
Love. Love, because Walter loved everybody when he was making this bread that he wanted to share it with. Because guess what? He didn't make a loaf of bread and then sit at home and spread butter and jelly all over it and hog the whole thing up.
Oh, that's
Yeah, well, that would be good. Yeah, he's sharing it with everyone in this community because he loves to share the thing. This is one of the things that he really loves, and he loves to share. So this is a little bit, we can think about bread and community as part of our interconnected web of all of the life, all of the things in the world, people and ingredients from the earth and things from our heart make this loaf of bread the best one. And you may eat your bread now. And it'll probably not be your last piece of bread today, because there's a lot of bread here and a lot of love here with all of this bread. All right. So today is one of the services where we stay in the service all day. And I want you to know that you can move from here. You can go to a different table and ask for bread, please. Lots of please and thank yous, okay?
Did y'all eat the bread yet?
Let's give it a shot. What do you think? Thank you, Walter.
Is it all right?
All right.
Okay, if you say so.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, everybody. And later today will be our bread communion, and you can participate because you are members of the church too, right?
I hope so. Nope. Please join me now in the spirit of meditation and of prayer. Take a deep breath. If it is comfortable for you to put your feet on the floor, I encourage you to do so. Put your hands on your lap, rest them on the table. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Find the spot in your body where you can feel the tension that you're holding. Breathe into that spot. Hold it for just a second and let it go. There is a lot of anxiety in this world right now. There is a lot of things to distract us. I keep thinking of how hard it is to hear the news anymore. To listen to the constant fighting that is going on in the Middle East and not having a place to put my anguish. For this need to assign blame and to try and solve when people on all sides hurt. We pray for a quick resolution. We pray for those who suffer. And we hope for moments of joy. We hold in our hearts members of our community. Nell Keller is in the hospital, and she is struggling. Cards, visits are welcome. And I'm holding Tom and Rachel Durr in my heart. Tom and Rachel Durr lost their daughter 1 year ago. And these anniversaries can be very, very hard. And I encourage friends and acquaintances of them to just reach out and let them know they are still loved and they are still being held. And I want to share the joy once again of a beautiful weekend of festivities, kicking off the holiday season and putting community together in such a joyous celebration. If you have something that is weighing on your heart, a sorrow, I encourage you to come to our Joys and Sorrows place, our altar, to put that sorrow on a stone and to release it into the water. And if there's something that is just lifting your heart with joy, I encourage you to do the same, to put that on the stone, release it into the water so it may be shared. If you would like a visit from myself this week, please let me know by reaching out for my hands. Chris Struzik from our pastoral care team is also here, and if you would like a visit from someone from pastoral care, please let him know. Please join us in our Stones ritual as we sing, Spirit of Life. Spirit of
Our reading this morning is Cornucopia by Jean M. Olson. This astonishing table has been set with food specially prepared just for you. Take what you want, as much as you need. The sweet nectar of red and yellow columbine awaits, and the bright stars of the Milky Way will feed your soul for a week. Nibble at the gibbous moon and see how it still waxes more. Its fullness enough to satisfy your belly. Lie on the tender green grass and let the cool summer breezes soothe your tired body, giving it rest beyond sleep. The perfume of the plum blossom will intoxicate you if you let it. Listen. The trill of the red-winged blackbird will call your mind back to the freshness of early morning. An arc of double rainbow may saturate your eyes with wonder at the mere images of the colored spectra. Come, feast. There is holy nourishment here in abundance to fill your deepest hunger.
Already been alluded to that food is an expression of love for so many of us, right? How many of you, a friend of mine had this bumper sticker? Love people, cook them tasty food. Anyone ever seen that? No, a couple of people have. Found out it's the slogan for Penzi Spices. Interestingly enough. But I'm sure there are some of us here who actually feel that way. People who use food as a love language. So how many of you had caretakers who were really big about using food as a love language, right? Okay. How many of you are the people who use food as a love language, right? I fall into both of those camps. Right? Every time I go to visit my mother, hi Mom, by the way, I'm pretty sure she's watching me. Every time we go to visit, my mother is always trying to put food in front of me and my family, and it takes a lot of effort to let her know, really, I am not hungry. I'm doing fine. I'd rather visit with you than eat the food, mostly. And I have been known quite often to cook for people when I am wanting to express love. My wife tells me often over and over again how I need to cook her more bread because she loves it. And if her birthday comes around and I do not make her a cheesecake, I am in trouble. And I love making her that cheesecake every year. I would be toast if I don't make her bread. Exactly. Very good, Hawthorne. So for a lot of us, food is shorthand. Food puts us at ease. For so many of us, it is used to break down barriers. We often use food as a way to get to know someone. What do you do on a first date? Want to go to dinner? Yeah, okay, we'll make it a date, you and me. We'll go get dinner, right? We saw food used to bring people together Friday and Saturday. We saw a lot of really good, wonderful food. Thank you, James. Thank you, Sue, for bringing your love to this group for this weekend. Many of us are going to be doing Thanksgiving in some way, shape, or form. How many people are hosting? All right, we got a few, right? How many of you are going elsewhere for Thanksgiving? All right. How many of you that are going elsewhere are bringing something? Right? Yep. Yep, because that's love, right? It's a shorthand for love. It's polite and it's all that. And I also know that when I go to my friends for Thanksgiving, if I do not show up with a chocolate cheesecake, my best friend's mother is going to give me dirty looks. Because I brought one year and that was it. Food has been an expression of love for millennia. How many of you have heard of the love feast or the agape feast? Right? This is from the early Jesus movement. I did not say Christian, I said Jesus movement, because this was in that period of time after the crucifixion and before Constantine listened to his mom and made Christianity the law of the land. This is in that period of time where the early followers of Jesus, the Jew, shared his teachings and came together and would have a communal meal. And if you look in Scripture, it was a potluck. The followers of Jesus would bring food and they would gather and talk about the teachings and talk about him. And they may have a Eucharist. They may do the ritual of the Eucharist. But more often than not, it was an opportunity for them to sit in community and share their love with each other. There's a story I heard in seminary. I wish I could remember the source. This was the time when they were being persecuted for being Jesus followers. And what happens is there would be times where they would get together and they would get caught by the Romans. They would be executed and they would get a last meal option. And what would they do for the last meal? Hold a love feast. And they invited the guards and the executioners. Think about that. Think about a love so deep it invites the people who persecute you. Think about how deep that love has to be. Today we take a page from that book. Today we sit with each other in deep community and in deep love. I've let you know what's on your tables, right? We have the gluten-free biscuits in the center. Vegan things are everywhere else. There are some other breads in the center. And what I'm going to ask you to do now is to take a few minutes and prepare yourself a piece of bread however you would like, and then return to your seats, because then we're going to do a ritual. So prepare it, but don't eat it yet. All right, so we'll give you a few minutes to do that. All right. There is a simplicity in bread. It can be made with just a few ingredients: water, yeast, flour. From the mixing of these simple staples becomes something more sustaining. So too do we come together, bringing our simple gifts to each other and to the world we live in. May our coming together sustain not only each other, but the world around us. I want you to take a moment to take your bread, to take it into two pieces. I want you to feel the bread. Is there resistance? Is it tough? Does it crumble? Did these pieces break evenly? Did you have one slightly larger or much larger than the other? Often when we come into community, we come broken. We come looking to find something to make us whole, to put us right. And this brokenness may feel messy and tough. But like this bread, just because it is broken does not mean it is worthless. This still has something to offer in its brokenness. We still maintain our essential selves when we arrive broken. We may not be whole, but we are still capable of sustaining and having worth. I encourage you to take one of your pieces, put it in your mouth. Feel the texture, the taste. Take in the gifts of others that are offered through this bite of bread. What are the gifts that others bring that you are so thankful for? What is it like bread that sustains you in tough times? What brings you comfort? I encourage you to take the other piece of bread. Think of it as the gifts that you have. Think of it as your talents. How do your gifts sustain others? How does what you bring feed the community? Sometimes the simplest gestures of kindness are like bread. It seems like a simple thing, and yet that kindness is so sustaining. I encourage you to take this piece of bread and to toast your neighbors with its kindness. I encourage you to turn to the person next to you. Thank you for your presence. You are enough. Thank you for your presence. You are enough. Do this to all of the people around you. Thank you for your presence. You are enough. And then I encourage you to eat this second piece of bread, using the kindness that you have received, that you have been given by the people around you. And may you use that to sustain yourself. It is the simple things in life that sustain us. Community, connection, kindness. This bread can be a symbol of these things. May we take these gifts into ourselves, and may we take them out to feed the world. For the next few minutes, I want to encourage you to do what comes so naturally and to talk to each other. Make this a real love feast. Tell each other what you love. What you love about this congregation. What you love about each other. Talk about what brings you joy. What brings you happiness. And my challenge to you is to not complain, to not be cynical, and most importantly, if someone gives you a compliment, to not deflect it, to not say it was nothing, but to say thank you. Now, take a few minutes and share the love. Thank you all for participating in our ritual. We will now be closing up our service. Laura?
It has been said that faith without works is dead. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe in doing the work no matter the source of your faith. The offering that we are about to collect funds the works both within our community and beyond these walls. All donations collected today that are not specifically marked otherwise will be split with the Immigrant Worker Project. The IWP was founded in 1998 to address the needs of the farm worker and rural migrant communities in Ohio. The offering will now be collected and gratefully received. Please join me in this unison reading. The words are on the screen. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share our gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others. And let us now rise in body and spirit to sing our closing hymn. Number 67 in the gray hymnal, we sing now together.
I mean this literally and figuratively. Please take bread home. Literally because we have so much. And I don't mind feeding the birds, but I don't want them to be so fat that they cannot migrate. And take bread home metaphorically. Take the simple ingredients of kindness and connection and community, and take them to sustain the world around us. Our world needs good bread, and you all are the best group of bakers we could wish for. Go in peace. Mike!